Hello guys, Dan here. I'm going to be covering a couple of things in this video. It's obviously the Secret World, my favorite MMO in existence for many reasons, but I'm not going to get into that this video. Okay, first I'm going to cover computer optimization. Now, this game is poorly optimized. That's absolutely no secret at all. Um, there's not really any tricks behind that. I mean, it's hardware compatibility issues. So you might have an amazing Intel rig with like an HD video card and it'll run great, and then someone else will have, the same kind of rig with an HD card that's, a 6850 opposed to a 7850, and it's just not going to run properly. Like it's all driver and hardware related. It's completely ridiculous. Um, so I don't know how to completely solve the crashes or the frame drops, but I have fixed it quite a bit. Now, I was getting frame drops of like 14 to 20 in some boss fights, and then sometimes the game would just crash. But after I did these couple of steps, I haven't had a single crash. It's come close to, and I expect it to happen, but the crashes are going to be a lot less frequent, and the game is much more playable. So first off, what you want to do is you want to completely uninstall all your video card drivers. Now you probably read that in a bunch of different forums, but it's pretty important. It's just a minor step you can take. And I figure, why not take the step if it's going to solve the issue? So after that, restart your computer. Make sure the driver's completely gone before you restart, and get back to your desktop and install the fresh driver. Now, the second thing you want to do is defrag your hard drive. Um, all partitions of your hard drive that you have stored information on, not media files, but more so like installed directories and stuff. If you have this game installed on a backup partition or something, you're going to want to defrag that, even if this is the only thing on the partition. So just to be safe, defrag every single hard drive that you have on your computer. Um, Now that's quite the process depending on your space. And note that solid state drives can't be defragged, they don't need to be. So if this game is installed on a solid state drive, then that solves that issue completely. Now after you defrag, the next thing you want to do is restart your computer again, load up the secret world, the download or the patch applicator, and in the top left you're going to see repair broken data. Click that, go through the process. It might take an hour or two, I'm not sure. It might want to download all the patches again, but do that. And then when that's finished, restart your computer again, load up the game, and hopefully you notice some fixes, because I know I did. It's helped me out quite a bit, and I don't know. I was just getting annoyed. The game was crashing every 5-10 minutes. Hello. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to cover here, um, it's going to be flashing off my fun little F stuff up AOE build. Now, I wasted a lot of time talking about computer hardware, the optimization issues, blah blah blah. Sorry, I'm not a faster talker. Anyway, okay. So I kind of stole this from the Hunter deck, which I think is just fantastic. It's completely amazing. But I switched certain things out because that build relies a lot on penetration, which is like armor penetration in other MMOs. I want penetration and critical. I definitely want the best of both worlds. If I don't get that, I'm not going to be happy. I'm going to be a sad puppy. So we're going to go over the actives now. First off is a must. Ice Manifestation. Okay. Does a small amount of damage each tick, but it does do frequent ticks. Lasts for 9 seconds, it hits every 3 seconds, so it's going to hit 3 times, and it's going to hit up to five enemies, which typically that's going to be your average pulls, 5-6 enemies tops. Next is Cold Wave. It's a hindering ability that also does AOE. It's an excellent AOE type blast. I absolutely adore this ability for both PvE and PvP. Okay. Now, for your resource builder, I went with Wildfire. So seeing as I'm using shotguns and a lot of up close attacks, like attacks that do more damage up close, I want to be in their face at all times. So I went with wildfire. Um, Pretty much what it does is it casts a little fireball that explodes and spreads and hits up to 5 enemies. But I try to stay right in their face when using it because it's amazing. It just builds this crazy inferno around you, and it just makes you feel and look super badass. Plus, it's an amazing attack. Um, okay, next I want to takedown. Right now I have I have a couple abilities here that sorry, I have one ability here that's instant, right? But Inferno is not instant. So I decided to go with some other instant casting abilities that are they're gonna do damage right off the hop. Right now they do have a cooldown, but once you're in battle, you'll be concentrating on building up resources and expelling other things. You'll have time to actually build these up and you won't even worry about it. By the time you need them again, they will be active. So this build's just fantastic. You should always have an active ability. Okay, anyway, again, takedown hinders, just like Cold Wave, which is fantastic for support. Kneecapper. Right, I just grabbed this one earlier. I'm not too experienced with it, but it's another hindering attack. It does a little bit of spread damage, and it seems like a high amount of attack there. This is my favorite, Inferno. Okay. Um, Now what you're going to do, when you cast that, you're going to see this big green aura, and you actually have to place on the ground exactly where you want to spread Inferno, right? So it's kind of a hassle when you're in the middle of battle, right? You can't just click it and it'll automatically go off. You have to hit your keybind and then you have to place it on the ground. But you'll get used to that, and it does a lot of damage. Now, the thing I like about Inferno so much is it's passive. Okay. Cruise Inferno will also leave a 5-meter radius area for 10 seconds. Every second, up to 5 enemies in the area are dealt 30 damage. Now that's going to stack with your attack rating, and it doesn't seem like a lot of damage, but it definitely adds up. Okay, and then we have Riot Act. Riot Act isn't a hindering ability, it's just a spread ability. It's going to hit everything in sight. Again, with the combination of all these attacks, you're going to be doing so much AOE and single target damage, it's pretty insane. Now we move on to the passives. Okay. Whenever you penetrate, you also cause the target to become afflicted. Now, having the target afflicted is a must with this build, and I'll show you why. Now, this is fantastic, right? Instead of getting 10% damage to shotgun or elemental, this covers both. So this is a must. Um, Beanbag rounds, another fantastic ability. Whenever you apply hindered, you gain the minor penetration chance effect, which increases your penetration chance by 10%. Now, if you've seen all these abilities here, you have you have 3 hinder abilities. So that's pretty much always going to be active. We already covered this. Fantastic. You can take it out and put in something else if you want, but I like it for the extra AoE damage. Hothead. Whenever you apply Hindered, you gain the minor critical chance effect, which increases your critical chance by 10%. So, okay, every time you hinder, you already have 10% of critical chance and penetration, which is really nice. Whenever you apply Afflicted, you gain 1 stack of the penetration rating, which goes beautifully with Incision and also with Flight of Daggers. Now, you might think this is kind of a weird one, but again, seeing as I'm using a shotgun and a lot of up close attacks, I figured I'm going to be so close to enemies anyway, they are going to be affected by this, and it's fantastic. Whenever you attack, you build a Flight of Daggers counter. When the counter reaches 5, you will hit up to 3 enemies in a 5-meter radius around you, dealing 300 physical damage. Affected targets also become afflicted with the damage over time effect that deals 66 physical damage every second for 5 seconds. Now when you have this and Incision going at the same time, that's going to boost these procs, like these are going to proc more often. And also you're going to see this proc, like your stacks are going to go up to 5 almost instantly. One other note here, this build, I wouldn't recommend it for any nightmare runs unless you were to switch a couple of things up. Like, I would get rid of, say, Ice Manifestation, and I would put in, oh, tree. And I would put in, where the heck is it? Right here. Reduce the amount of hate the target has towards you. Okay. And I would also get rid of a passive you're choosing, whatever works best with you. Probably this extra AOE damage from your Inferno, and you want to supplement that with subtlety. Um, without that passive and that active, you're more than likely gonna pull threat, and you're just gonna wipe the team. So anyway, this is my build. I've already spent a lot of time going over certain things. I would show you the gameplay with it, but you'll figure that out on your own. Anyway, have fun with it. Leave comments if you want. Let me know what you think of the build, and if you customize it a little bit, post. Let me know if you find any better actives or passives. So yeah, you guys have a good day. Take care.